Yeah, go ahead. I mean, look, just real quick. I mean, again, another productive day for us. A lot of good conversation in the draft room. I mean, a lot of work, a lot of effort. I mean, Demeco and I were just talking. It feels like we grinded out a win. What we did today, hopefully, is continue to build the depth of our team with a lot of good quality guys. It's about competition. So, I mean, that's kind of what this day is usually about. So, you guys can go ahead and ask some questions, and we'll answer.
We're very excited about all the guys that we brought in. Feel like all these guys are quality players that add to the depth, add to the competition of our team, and so we're excited about like all the guys that we were able to pick, and we want to work with these guys. So, and we're fired up about it.
Whether it's Patterson, whether it's Will Anderson, whether it's CJ, they know our team. They know the type of people that we want in this building, and they have insight, probably better insight than maybe we even have. And I would say when you look at a lot of our players, JP, Will, C. Harris, CJ, they understand football, and they're very perceptive, so they can provide valuable insight. So we certainly, we'd be remiss if we didn't utilize that information.
Yeah.
It's not the driving force, but it's helpful. Maybe it's something that we go to Patterson with and say, hey, we're not sure about this. What are your thoughts on this? Because ultimately, it's about the players, and they're going to be sitting next to each other in this room, just like they were at their alma mater. So we'll utilize the information wherever it's provided and try to make a good decision with that, with that assessment.
Several of the players that you drafted, and it's been, I think, now 2 or 3 drafts. You not only go for position versatility, but you also go for captains. What is the standout when it comes to the captain persona, just the leadership? Is it something that you covet for certain players, or just criteria, just overall thoughts when it comes to that?
Yeah, leadership comes in all different shapes and sizes. I mean, there's a reason his nickname's Cap. So.
Say what?
Important. So we don't go out and say we're going to or we have to draft captains. It's usually pretty organic. It's a part of the evaluation. But if you're elected captain, it says something about what your teammates think of you. So it's not something where we're looking for a box and say, well, captains. Well, if it works out that way, great. But they have, obviously, they're respected by their peers, they're respected by their teammates, and look, we've talked about the type of people that we bring in this building absolutely matters, and we're always gonna put a premium on that.
And we really like the juice that he has out of the backfield. I think he has plays with tremendous speed, so we're looking to add some speed to our backfield, and we think he provides that for us, and he also provides some special teams value as well as a returner. So really excited about the role that he's shown that he was able to do at Louisville, and excited about seeing him come in and compete here.
AFC, the second was just sort of stood out, and we sort of had them ranked on the board, and we come back and pick them up.
Since they're both defensive players, I'll defer to the head coach.
Starting with Bullock, right? You see just his ball skills, his range, back there in the deep half of the field. It's just stood out. He's an exceptional playmaker, attack the ball. That's what we are about on defense, attacking the ball. And that's what Bullock does. That's what we're looking for him to do for us. Then when it came to Bird, just looking at guys who has the traits there to play our style up front. He plays hard, relentless. He's a tough player, and then he has the skill to get after the quarterback. So we're excited about adding a guy at that point in the draft, adding a guy who had the skill set that we like, length, and he can rush the quarterback.
We got to speak to you, Nick, about this yesterday, but when it comes to Kamari, Lassiter, the cornerback from Georgia, what were some things that you noticed about his film that really stood out, and what were some things that you think he can provide for this defensive team?
Yeah, Kamari provides toughness. He provides, you talk about energy and the way he plays the game, like he loves football, and it shows on the tape. It jumps off the tape. He's a versatile player. He can play inside. He can play outside. But you talk about a guy who's a leader, a guy who works hard. He's everything that our team is about. We talk about everything being relentless and attacking the day with a relentless mindset every single day. That's what Kamari brings.
One of the things that you like to do is to develop talent, to develop those late round guys. You bring them in and build them up. How exciting was it for you to get that wealth of talent that you got today, this last day? There were a lot of good players still available for you all.
That's the most exciting thing to me about coaching is developing guys, seeing where they are. You select guys who have traits that you like, traits that you think will translate to helping us, and then as coaches, we have to help them, right, those next few steps to get them to maximize their talent and play to their capability, right? And so that's what I'm most excited about, when you see the growth of a player from where he is once you get him to where the things you can help him, right, grow it as a player. That's why I like coaching, and that's why I enjoy coaching and seeing the development. Nobody is a finished product once we get them, but these guys, all the guys we selected have, first off, their makeup, they're all really great people, right? And that's one thing we pride ourselves on, is adding great people to our locker room. And then you get to the player, that we had really good players with great traits, and we're excited to work with all of them.
Nice.
What's some of the feedback out of Columbus in terms of work ethic, toughness? Any stories about Caserio, things you guys heard?
Yeah, whatever it is, it's elite.
Whoa.
This guy is as tough and hard-nosed a player that they had in the program. Just kind of going back to the question and Demeco's answer about developing players, I'd say Cade's a good example of a player who's only played tight end for 2 years, so he's certainly not a finished product, but he has the mindset and the work ethic to improve. I mean, how he was raised. I mean, this guy is everything you want in a football player and then more. I mean, he probably played hurt this year. I mean, I think he had an MCL or had an issue where, quite frankly, it would have limited some other players, but he just braced it up and he just kept playing football. So, I mean, I don't want to speak for Demeco, but I think we feel the same way. This is probably one of our favorite, football players in the entire draft, regardless of position, because of his mentality, because of his mindset. And he still is developing as a player. I mean, 2 years ago, he was playing defensive end in the Rose Bowl against Utah. Now he's, played tight end for 2 years, and here he is getting picked in the bottom of the 4th round. And his position is, we think tight end. That's why we drafted him. So, but, I mean, blue collar as they come, and from a makeup, traits, toughness, mentality, I mean, this is an elite guy.
There was a moment where the cameras, I think it was a touchdown. If it's okay.
Which pick? I don't know. We celebrate after a bunch of them.
Okay, well, what about that was so exciting? What about that particular moment, if it's okay to ask that?
I think it's all exciting, and the draft is just such an exciting process, and you go through and you study so many guys, right? And you have a select number of guys that you like and guys that you will want to work with, but you never really know how it's going to shape out, because 9 times out of 10, like the other teams, like the same players. So for us to get guys that we truly, have kind of highlighted to start the process, guys who've always kind of stuck out in that process, and for us to get guys like that, like Stover, like Bullock, right, Lassiter, it's exciting when you're able and you know the guy that you're adding to your team, right? You know the competitor that he is, you know what type of football player he is. It's exciting. So all of our picks we were celebrating after. I don't think it was just one. We celebrate after all of them.
Oh, and like Demeco, we have fun. I mean, the beauty of it, my respect for him is massive, but we see football through the same lens, and we're looking at a lot of the same things in players. We may have a variance of opinion, but we talked through everything, and this was a player that we had earmarked, quite frankly, we had talked about him maybe at 59 if we had the opportunity to pick him, and then I think we maneuvered, we had to move up a few spots. I think that's where we traded up. We gave 123 to move up a few slots, and we were able to get the player that we wanted because it's a player we had identified. And not that you're doing this, the reason you're doing it, But the number of teams that kind of reached out to us after the pick, I mean, there was a few teams that, were basically saying they were getting ready to write the guy's name down. So it doesn't mean that we're right or wrong. It just means that, to Demeco's point, these are players, there's certain players that you say, if we have an opportunity to add into the team, let's figure out a way to do it. Let's be responsible and not be egregious with it. And I would say in Bullock's case, I mean, that was a situation. I mean, I don't know who's more excited, Demeco or Stephen A., but... And, we show that emotion. I mean, you've seen him chase the officials down the sideline, so he's faster than me, so I can't keep up.
We're not yelling Duval. There were some boos. I don't think they liked the decision to even line up to kick, and then they were even more frustrated.
We talked to guys after each round. We had a chance to interview them briefly. Many of them said, when you asked them to talk about themselves, they said, they run hard, they play hard, they love football. It seemed to be the same kind of theme. Is that, I guess that's the swarm relentless, is that what you're looking for, those kind of players?
For sure, Kim, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for players who want to swarm. That's the mentality. That's how I see football. I mean, you only got so long to play it. You give it everything you have. You play as hard as you can possibly play. Exhaust all the resources to be your absolute best. And we're here to help all of our players reach their best. And you can see it on film. Guys who love playing football, guys who love playing hard, they know what it looks like. So we don't have to teach them that once they get here. Now we're focused on just honing in on the fundamentals and techniques and getting technically better as a player. But once that ball is snapped, we need everybody playing with everything they have. Yeah, I'm excited to take my scouting cap off. All right, coaching a little bit. So I'm just in the office, just locked in, just watching as many guys as I can, studying as much tape as I can when it comes to scouting all these players. So I know, who we're looking at, know what we're getting. And so, yeah, I'm excited that we got the guys we got and we're moving forward. Now we can get on the field, get outside. That's what I'm excited about, getting outside, right, getting some sun and coaching on the grass. That's what I'm definitely looking forward to that moment.